Hi, all. This is Dr. J, streaming live from Long Island, New York, where the weather was a little icky today. A little rain, a little cold, a little a wintry kind of day. Anyway, I've been in worse weather, and I've been in worse markets. Even though I expected a terrible market today, we just got a not so terrible market, but just an awful market. Does that make sense? In any event, it wasn't as awful as I expected. I expected the range would be about 1,000 points. Instead, the range was about 300 points, I believe, or not even. Hey, Jake, why don't you come on? You know how to come on? You want to come on with me? Hello, Jake. You want to come on live with Dr. J? What do you say? How or no? I thought you wanted to come on live. I'll give you the link if you do. Control C. How? I'll show you how. Just click that link. You see the link? Click that link. And we'll get you right on. You have a camera? You have a microphone? Say hello to everybody. My buddy Spike is on vacation, so he won't be joining us tonight. Family vacation. I hope you're having fun, Spike. Hope you're watching. Happy 2020 to you, Snaid. And Evil Boy. I'm doing okay, Evil Boy. How you doing? Good to see you too. We might be seeing Jake live and in person if he figures it out. Anybody else want to come on live and in person? Help me out here. I'm spikeless. Well, anyway, what about football? Who do you guys like? Fake Cabinet guy from the Green Mountain State. Your man Bernie led everybody in fundraising this quarter. 37 million. Popular guy, huh? Yeah, oh, thanks, Evil Boy. Share the tweet. Thank you. In fact, put this address into the tweet. No, not that one, because put the YouTube address in. Hey, Clarence, how you doing? Somebody's trying to come on. Because put the YouTube address. Hey, Clarence, how you doing? Somebody's trying to come on. That's Jake.
Hey, Dr. J, how are you?
Okay, it looks kind of nice where you are.
Mm-hmm. Just my office, home office.
Where's that?
Austin, Texas.
Oh, what's the temperature in Austin today?
It's like 60 degrees, so it's not too bad, especially for January.
Looks mighty pleasant, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, 60 degrees. I mean, I guess global warming is a real thing, you know. Yeah, well, I don't know, but it's way too warm for January.
Yeah, so why don't you tell that to the Republican Party, Donald Trump and all of those people? They don't believe in it.
Donald Trump dropped a bomb on the Iranian general and my portfolio today. So
yes, you're not the only one.
Yeah, no, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, though.
That's what I was saying. I thought it would be 1,000 points today down.
Yeah.
Before we rebounded. And, it still may be. Don't think we're out of the woods, because there will be an Iranian response.
Yeah, I saw that.
Depending on how bad that Iranian response is, it could really affect the markets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that.
In fact, anything that if they hit one of our embassies anywhere in the world, it will affect the markets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I just hope this is water under the bridge. Let's all just forget about this and move on with our lives.
I sort of, I'm willing to settle for water under the bridge, but I doubt the Iranians are.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, so what do you think? You think it's gonna affect the our market? I mean,
Yes, I think geopolitical events is one of the possible reasons that we could turn around and lose 2,000 points on the Dow.
yeah,
It's very possible, and depending on what length of duration the conflict is, if we're really in war, it could have a 3,000, 4,000 point downward slide. Eventually, it'll settle down, come back.
yeah. And I'm not really big into investing in defense or oil and gas stocks. So yeah, I hope nothing happens.
Well, maybe it's time to take a look at defensive stocks, defense, and maybe some energy sector. Might be time. It's if things continue like this, you're gonna see. If things worsen, you're gonna see Bitcoin spike. You're gonna see gold spike. You're gonna see the defense stocks spike. You're gonna see oil and gas, the energy sector spike. Spike must have made his TVIX money today. Yeah, he's out celebrating. Nah, he's away. TVIX, he took such a beating on that, he'll never get even. We're talking about Spike. He insisted on being bearish. Or you can't fight the ticker. Can't fight the ticker. That's an old expression. So how old are you, Jake?
I am 29.
29. That's a pretty good age.
Yeah, I think so.
So what are you into besides stocks?
Yeah, so background is software consulting, moving to having a venture capital fund based in Toronto. I split my time between Toronto, Austin, and Medellin, Colombia. Hobby is biotech stocks, you know. I've been in it for last 4 years. My baby was Arunia for 2.5 years. Made it through phase 2 and 3 with that. Yeah, and
okay, so you're in love with biotech like me.
Yeah, in love with biotech. I mean, venture capital it takes forever to get your return back, right? I mean, it's fun. You're evaluating basically ideas on paper or a little later, but bio is just so intricate, so many nuances. Yeah, I had some heavy burns when I first started. I really took out some time to do some soul searching on what the heck was going on, you know, with bio, and finally got into the groove of it really in the last year or so.
What's the number one problem with bio? We all know what it is. What's the number one problem?
Well, my problem changed every year, but when I was starting out, it was not understanding that even though there's nothing wrong with the company, right? I mean, everything is perfectly fine. Fundamentals is exactly the same. People will still leave because it takes so long between catalysts, especially you playing clinical stage. And I just couldn't figure out why the price keep dropping, even though everything was completely kosher.
Yeah.
So that used to be my biggest problem until I figured, that's the cyclical nature of things. But in my opinion, is people getting bored, which can be opportunity, and not timing dilutions / catalyst correctly. I mean, I'm not really much of a chart person. I'm more of straight fundamentals, and yeah.
Well, you have to pay attention to the charts if you're in biotech, because precisely what you talked about: dilution. Capital raise.
Yeah.
These small biotechs are always going back to the markets for more money, so that they can pay the CEO, the CFO, the COO, the CQO, the CRO, and
Yeah.
everybody's got to get paid. Even
Yeah.
if even if they're in phase 3 and they're just waiting around, they still want to get paid.
We have to. I mean,
Right,
it's the only industry in the world, or one of the only game in the world where you don't make money for 10 years
right,
as a company, but you're getting paid millions of dollars, every year.
right.
I mean, it's how it is, huh?
Yeah, that's how it is. So we're paying the salaries of the executives, and very often not even the researchers. More often than not, we're just paying secretaries that may or may not be necessary. They small salary, of course, but the big guys, the CEO, the CFO, and so on. And
Yeah.
they may not be doing very much other than waiting for the big pharma who's running their trials to complete them.
Yeah, and if you were a doctor and I guess really good scam artist, you can probably make a living off of just hyping up a drug, taking in a good salary over and over again, and keep diluting it, even though you're not adding any value. And there's stocks out there like that, And I think that's part of the game is to do due diligence and weave out the bad management team from the good ones.
Right.
And yeah.
Well, one of them that diluted over and over again is one that I'm in big now, and you think you're in that CVM, sell side.
Yeah, yeah, I'm bullish on CVM.
Well, you
Yeah,
have
that's
to
that's
be.
the story.
I think there's enough evidence that you have to be bullish, even though the odds are probably not in their favor of blowing away the top line results. But I think that considering the risk reward ratio, you have to be in it. So
Yeah,
phase 3, I think the last 11 phase 3 trials, the FDA approved something like 5 out of the last 11.
mm,
So just based on that alone, you're almost even money, and
yeah,
you're probably looking at 5 to 10 to 1 on your money with sell side overnight,
yeah. I
and,
mean,
and a lot more than that down the road. So
yeah,
that's why.
it's just a matter of when, right? I mean, you never know. Like, once the last two patients is one or two.
Well, we don't know how many. They need 298 events. It's been estimated that it's close to complete. Maybe I think the last estimate by Ergomed was maybe a dozen more. That was back a few months. I don't know if there's been an update to that. So, like you say, just a few, but that could take months.
Hey, yeah, or in free cases, it can take years.
It
Yeah,
could.
yeah, it could.
And
Um,
that wouldn't be a bad thing for that group that's waiting we're waiting on.
right, right.
I mean, their lives, we're talking about their lives. We're only
Yeah.
talking about money.
It feels funny, right? Because obviously we want the best for the patient and long to live. It also means the drug works a lot better. But there's a part of everyone that's like, hey, come on, let's end the trial already, right? When it's gonna be over with.
Right, right. And the CEO is waiting on pins and needles himself. He has over 1 million shares, and he's counting his money. He really expects top line results to be great. I mean, that's according to words out of his own mouth. And
Yeah.
if he's right, that company that's trading at
Hmm.
under $1 billion is going to be worth at least 8 to 12 billion to a big pharma.
So he spent most of his career with CVM, right? I mean, he
Yeah,
was also the founder. So this is his baby, essentially.
it is, and it's not unusual for CEOs to have unreasonable expectations for their drugs. I mean, like you said, he's been eating, sleeping, and drinking this company,
Yeah,
so he believes in it.
yeah. It's
Which
been
I
around for
like.
5 years.
I do like that. but CEOs are often overly enthusiastic. But I like that better than those who aren't.
Yeah.
Sure.
The offering was a smart one. It was a frugal offering.
Oh yeah, he really gave it to the shorts with that small offering. They were expecting a big offering and to cash in.
Mm-hmm.
So he really, gave them the short end of the stick. I think stuck it to the shorts, and that's why I expect the short covering rally this month. Largely because the dilution was just a fraction of what they expected. Now, if it goes on 3 to 6 months more, they may have to dilute again. But in the meanwhile, I don't think shorts can really afford to take that risk.
Yeah, I think the money is good for like 3 or 4 months, something like that.
Yeah.
The current burn. But I personally, I wouldn't mind like another small dilution. I mean, to me, it sends a signal that he expects the trial to be over, in the next couple months or so.
Right.
Positive result, and I would do an offering when the price hike, of course.
I agree. As long as the offering is small, like this one, it's okay. Happy New Year to Sean.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
And Clarence, Happy New Year to everybody. Where's Lynn? Lynn is always late. She says, am I late? I said, yeah. No, you're not late. We're waiting on Lynn. Lynn gave us an exciting stock to look at, cfrx. I find that to be a very interesting play. They have a couple of prospects coming due and in trials. And the movement of the stock technically looks very good. I forget, the fundamentals look good too. I read about it, but I read about so many, I don't even remember it. But if Lynn comes on, maybe she can give us some color on that. All right, so let's get to the charts because I don't want to spend all night chatting, even though I do like chatting with you. And I hope you'll come back for another visit in the not too distant future. Okay. If anybody wants us to chart a particular stock, let us know. What about football? Do you have any football predictions before we get to the charts?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not really a big football guy. I'm a big like UFC guy, so that's probably the only sport I follow.
Well, you have the Texans. That's not. I guess it's far from you.
No, I used to live in Houston for 18 years until I moved to Dallas.
Okay. Yeah, but I tell you, the Bills are coming in to Houston, and they could knock them off. They're a very good team. So it's an interesting game. In fact, I wouldn't want to bet against the Bills right now. I think they have a lot of momo. So see what happens. Philadelphia Eagles won out and with like a 9-7 record. So they're a weak home team. Seattle should beat them, I think. So I think a couple of the road teams have a chance. The Bills and Seattle, I think they have chances. All right, anyway, let's get to the stocks because that's what most people are waiting for. So I'm going to share screen. All righty. All right, so now you can see the screen, right? All right, let's start with the one we talked about, CBM. All right, so we're in a strong uptrend from all the way back from June, actually even earlier than that. But from a low of 370, we've had a nice run. Of course, it was in the pennies at one point, if you look even further back. So this has been a spectacular run already. We have new high after new high. So we put in a new high. The last new high we put in was on the 27th of September. And we came close to making a new high a couple of weeks ago on the 23rd of December. So what we have to do, I think, in order to get a little pop, is to take out this high. And I think at that point, we're not going to just move a little bit. I think we're going to move a lot being at least to the $11 area prior to data. And I think that the longer it takes for data, the more likely this is to happen. But I think it's going to happen sooner as opposed to later. So I think I expect a little pop into the end of the month. By the end of the month, I think we're at Yo 11 by the end of January, unless the whole market collapses due to geopolitical events, and then all bets are off. That's how I feel about that at this point. So the chart is beautiful, very, very nice chart. I mean, a high, a low right here on 1227. So we have a high, a low, a high, a high. This is a slightly lower high, but that's meaningless. I think we're heading in the right direction. Also, you know what's nice? Going back to Monday when we had the big sell-off, it broke support. It dipped its toes below support and came roaring back the same day, which I like. And then it continued on up. So today, when the market was very weak, it opened low and came all the way back. It's showing a lot of strength, CVM, a lot of strength. All right, so that's CVM.
Yeah, I mean,
let's take a look at
that. I mean, essentially, this moment, right? The data coming out, the trial being over. The trial's been there for 20 years, right? Everyone's been waiting for this. So
well, actually, since 2011.
Ah, okay.
Since 2011.
The company's been around like 20 years, right?
Which is now 20 years, but it's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're essentially all getting on, moments before data coming out.
That's right. They're going to pile on because why not? There's a lot of gamblers in this world, and they know there's some value here in betting long. So I think I expect them to pile on. I expect the shorts to cover. So yeah, I see every reason for it to go up, very little reason for it to go down right now. So, all right. So Amazon, I think, is going to $3,000 by the end of the year, unless we have war. Or there's one other factor that could derail Amazon, and that is the SEC and Trump. So we'll see. If they try to break up Amazon, I don't know if they will, but that would hurt the stock, of course, at least temporarily. Of course, it may be worth more broken up than it is, but not broken up. You never know. So if they start spinning off companies, the shareholders will get shares in every company. They might do better. Amazon with the Whole Foods catching on now, and the security business. I know we had a little problem with Ring and the cloud business. They're a technology company now. They're an everything company. Amazon owns the internet, so to speak. So I think you have a grossly undervalued situation right now on Amazon at 1872. Let's take a look at the chart. We have a beautiful ascending trend line, and notice we're trading above that. We found support at the 200, which is nice. And what's more, look at this. You see the 50 is crossing the 100, which is also extremely bullish. So that just happened. It corresponded to this low 3 days ago of 1832. So I think everything is, all systems go on Amazon.com. I think this high, 1901, will be taken out, and then we go on to make all-time highs in Amazon. So I'm very bullish Amazon, very bullish CVM. I'm very bullish the markets. So let's take a look at the Dow. The broader averages, I'm very bullish. Of course, short term, I'm not so bullish, but long term, I am. So we'll take a look at the Dow. The Dow has been nothing short of spectacular. Back last December, when we were at the lows after this 20% sell-off, 25% sell-off, I was screaming at the top of my lungs back then. We're heading for Dow 30,000, and everybody thought I was crazy. They were calling me crazy, Dr. J. Well, maybe now they're not laughing too much, right? Why am I still on Amazon? I thought I clicked the Dow. I just put it in here. Dow. Of course, it hasn't hit that yet. I don't know what's going on here. I know I clicked the Dow. Oh, there we go. Full screen. Okay, we have a beautiful, beautiful upward trend line, and we've gone below it, unfortunately, but I think this is short-lived. So we could get more volatility. We could take out this low that we made 2 days on Friday, right? No, on Wednesday. So we made a low of 28,376. That could be taken out if there's a geopolitical event over the weekend. I would expect it'll be taken out. So where are we going to look for support? Well, right about here should be support or at the 50. So you're looking at 27,878, maybe 1,000 points or so below where we closed. So I don't see a very big sell-off unless we have a major geopolitical event. Let's hope that doesn't happen. So the Dow, to me, is on solid footing. Does it pay to sell and get back in? I don't think so, because like you say, you're hoping it's water under the bridge, that we don't hear that there's no more further geopolitical flare-ups. Maybe that's the case. I hope so. I just doubt it. I think we will get some, but I don't want to time this, because I'm willing to sit with 1,000-point loss if I have to on the diamonds. I own the diamonds. All right, what else? Let's take a look at Ameren and acst. Those are the two fish oil drugs that I own.
I'm in acst.
Are you in them?
I'm in acst. Used to be in Ameren.
Okay.
We got a big catalyst coming out for acst.
Yeah, acst, definitely. But the question is some doubt was cast by the delay in the top line results being pushed into January. So that hurt the stock a lot. It sent it down to $1.18 on when that announcement happened. Meanwhile, Ameren is definitely got support at the 50. So I think there's a natural buffer at the 2050, 2025, that area. So I'm very comfortable keeping my Ameren and maybe even adding on a dip. So I'm very comfortable with Ameren. I think it will be bought out, and that could happen at any day, any time. It could happen on Monday. So that's one to hold. And if it gets bought out, I'm looking for 35, 36. I'm not looking for big things. I mean, that is a big thing from 20, right? 35, 36. A lot of people had unrealistic expectations of takeout number, but I do think it'll be taken out. I think this is my number one takeout stock. It's certainly the number one that I own that I think has prospects of being bought. acst, well, that's another one that could theoretically be bought.
Yeah, later on.
Yeah. After the results come in, if they're really blowout numbers, it could be big interest.
Yeah.
All right, so we've had a sell-off, like I said. This is a rather ugly candle, isn't it? Wow, ugly. And let's see, how low did it go that day? It went to $1.18, like I said. Wow. Woo, that is ugly. But it recovered, right? Let's raise it up. So it recovered most of the loss. I think it was major stop losses that were taken out, probably. Their members had a good time, market makers. All right, so where are we going now? Well, we retraced most of that body of that red candle, and it looks like we found support. Well, not until the 50 and the 100-day moving average is where we found support the next day. And now I think we're looking at support at the bottom of this red candle. So let me draw that line in. I would think below that is a little bit of a problem. I don't see why it would go below that. This to me looks like the support area at this point. And if it goes below that, I'd say there's some serious doubt as to what's going on. It should not. It should hold support right where it is. They see this little candle? It's a beautiful candle because it's all lower wick. Very bullish, actually, that candle. I like candles like that. And it comes after a downtrend. So it's very bullish to me. Of course, a lot of stocks recovered because the market was weaker earlier. So I don't know. And you could also draw a new trend line going up right about there, right? Let's take a look at that, how that looks. To me, there's nothing better than a straight line for judging, to learning a lot about stocks and their potential. I like to draw straight lines. Forget hyperbolas, forget parabolas. Straight lines, and this straight line is heading in the right direction. It's got 3 touches, which is good, and it's heading up. So I think we may have bottomed today. That's how it looks to me. But if we go below this, let's say the body of this red candle, we go below the close, which was 218. I get a little nervous. Below 218, I'm getting nervous. So right now, I'm not nervous, but below 218, get me a little scared. It's always good to be a little scared in the stock market.
Yeah.
You have to have a little fear because it can save you a lot of money when you have a little fear.
So do you expect data to be positive? Like knock it out of the park, positive, and if so, what's your price target?
I don't expect that because I think the delay is because the data wasn't totally clear. So I would be happy with projected numbers, whatever the triglyceride projection was. What's the primary endpoint? 20%, 30%? I forget.
I believe it's 20%.
20%.
Right.
So 20, 25%, I'd be happy. You don't have to knock it out of the ballpark.
But secondary,
Secondary is cholesterol, or is it
yeah,
LDLs?
yeah, yeah, secondary is higher level of good cholesterol, and I think that's the primary competitive
Or
advantage.
the HDLs, yeah.
Yeah,
So they raise the HDLs and lower the LDLs, right?
right.
What the CEO calls a trifecta, I think. He must be a horse player. Trifecta is a horse playing term.
Mm.
Uh, okay, so do I really expect blowout numbers? Not. I have a little doubt because the data got pushed into January. Raises a little doubt
Yeah.
to me, and I always have a little doubt. It's healthy to have a little doubt. Otherwise, you can go too crazy and get hurt. So I actually trimmed a little on Monday. I sold a little bit of acst at 250 at I think 255. It's 256, whatever it was. It was up a penny. I sold it that day. I sold about I sold about half my position. I still have an okay, decent size, but I sold about half. All right. What else did we want to look at? GHSI skyrocketed, Snaid said. Oh, yeah. You know who told us about that? Snaid. Who told us about GHSI? I think it was Greg. Wasn't it Greg? A while back? Greg is one of our regulars. All right, so you want to take a look at GHSI? I guess we can. It had itself quite a day today. So I think it's basically a penny stock by penny biotech. Trading at 43 cents after hours. Wow, it didn't quit, did it? This is hot, hot, hot. I don't know what the news was. I'm sure something drove it. But look at this spike on the day. A very nice spike. Actually flirted with crossing the 100, which it tried to do, but came back down. So this is a key test. Can it cross the 100? If it does, I think if we take out this high right here of 95 cents, wow, it could easily double from here, despite the move it made. Yeah, I mean, look at this. It basically had support, a lot of support right underneath where it's been trading. And with this move, this is a breakout move. Very exciting. Got to watch this one. Put this one on the watch list, Jake.
Okay.
I also like Lynn's cfrx. I've been watching that one, and I think I might enter that one. Where is Lynn? Lynn, you're late. You always ask me, are you late? Well, you're late today. Okay, so why do I like this one? Well, it took out a high, after, which was a long time in coming, took that out, came back down, and had a beautiful day today, considering the market. So we had a very nice day today. Looks like we put in a bottom equal to the open of 1227. So I like the support right in here. Let's just draw that line in there for support. You now have clear support on this one. Perfect support. So you have a nice support level of, let's see, what is that support? 55 pennies. It's very nice. You have a cushion underneath. If you go below that cushion, you just sell or take your loss. But I think it's got potential to double from here. So I don't like to play pennies as a rule, but this one is a penny with the fundamentals are pretty good. So that's interesting. Anything else you want to look at, or did we look at enough for tonight? You want to look at something, Jake?
I'll throw out something for you to look at.
Something for me to.
Let's do yeah. Why don't you help me out? And what about dmtk?
All right, let me get that. Also, we'll look at clearances are BNGO. BNGO has been another one that's a runner, biotech runner, but I think it's highly manipulated stock. I think the day traders own that one. I'd be scared of that one. So let me look at the one, BPTH is a nice one to look at. We'll get to that one maybe. So you want to look at what, Jake?
dmtk.
BM.
TK.
BM.
Yeah, dmtk.
Is that B as in boy or D as in dog?
D as in dog. Amazon Matthew. TK.
D as in dog. So that's Dermatech.
Yeah, Dermatech. Yeah.
I like skin companies. I've had really good luck with some of them.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a really good technology that basically do cancer diagnostic without biopsy. So it's a patch, and it's more accurate, and it doesn't lead to any kind of scarring. It does it in half the time. So the tech is phenomenal.
Right.
Medicare approval this Monday.
Well, obviously we have a double top here that it put in on Thursday, right? So the high was 1598, and then the high on Thursday was 1538. Well, maybe it's not quite a double top, sort of. You got to take this out. You take this out, you can run to new highs. There's no question. You got to pass the 200 day, and you got to take this out. Twice it tried the 200 and failed. So that's a key level. You just take that out. You can enter at that point. You don't have to take, I don't know if you own this one, but.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you do. So you're looking at support. Well, there's several levels of support. So one level of support would be the low on Tuesday. And, again, if the fundamentals are good, it should hold support. So the technicals really mirror the fundamentals. It should hold support right about the middle of this green candle, you see? Right about the low of the day here, like the $11 area should hold. If it doesn't, I'd have some questions, but the next level of real support would probably be the middle of this green candle where it broke out, right about 870, something like that. So if it breaks this area, I think 870 is in play. So it's a little scary, On the other hand, if it takes out the 200, you're looking at $20.
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah.
So it might be worth it if you say the fundamentals look strong.
Yeah, well, fundamentals are strong. Yeah, so it's just one of my only GIA, or they have partners. They got many, but at this point, it's no longer a clinical stage, right? They have a solid working product on the market.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
they're gonna make money.
I got burned before in the past with companies that turn from clinical into into actually selling the product. But this one seems like they have good partners in place, good insurance coverage. The technology is going to be the standard of care.
Okay.
So
this one's going to go on Dr. J's watch list. Right now, it's not there, so it's going to go up.
Nice.
All right, so let's look at Biopath for somebody asked for Biopath. Haven't looked at this one in a while, but look, it's got solid resistance right above where it's trading. So you're looking at 865 that it has to take out before I get interested in this. Takes out 865, you're probably looking, well, you got resistance at the 50 at 913. So there's a lot of resistance that it's got to go through. But if it goes through the 50, actually, this is the key resistance for the high at 1178. That gets taken out, then you could easily make a run to the 200. I don't know. It's been trading a long time below this level, which is key. It's really I wouldn't touch it until it busted out. I want it above this line before I buy it, if I'm buying it. So that's the way I feel about it. I'm not wildly enthusiastic about it. And I know the fundamentals on the company, they're a long ways from Tipperary. What was the other one? One more. REGI. Is that an I or an L? I guess it's an I. And that's it for tonight. REGI. We'll say good night after that. Oh, this one's a runner. Yeah, I mean, you just buy it and hope it keeps running. And if it goes below this low, you sell. If you want to play the Momo game, this is the one. Definitely. Of course, it could slip all the way back to fill the gap. Who knows with this renewable energy? It looks like a highly volatile stock. I don't know why it broke out. So I'm a little suspect, but if you want to play the Momo game, it looks like a good stock to own. All right, so let's get back and we'll wrap it up. I want to thank you very much, Jake, because you were a big help filling in for Spike tonight, who's out further west than you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me. It's good to be on.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. And it's a really pleasure meeting you. And you're a very astute trader, very astute fellow. And, you can come on anytime you like.
Yeah, I love to make this more of a habit. So
yeah, absolutely.
But seems like we have some similarities there in our portfolio. So
yeah. So I want to say good night from Long Island, New York. You want to say good night from Austin?
Yeah. Good night from Austin. Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys soon.
Shalom, au revoir, arrivederci, ciao. Bye.